So the Dragons might have had the worst off-season of all time. And with the news coming out this week about Francis Molo and his domestic violence charge, as well as the Mudgee scuffle after the Charity Shield, I think it's time to rebuild the Dragons. Now, because of the quality of the club at the moment, it's going to be a lot of roster, staff turnover, that kind of thing. And I think the first person to go has to unfortunately be Anthony Griffin. And it sucks that someone has to lose their job and that sort of thing. But look, it's a lot easier to move one coach rather than 30 players. So he's the first person out the door. Now, I've got 3 main candidates, I think, to take over from Anthony Griffin. Those being Jason Riles, which has been rumoured quite recently, Des Hasler, and Jamie Soward. So the thought process around Jason Riles is, look, he's been an assistant coach under Trent Robinson and Craig Bellamy over the last 5 or 6 years. He is touted as one of the best up-and-coming minds. I'm pretty sure he's who the Storm are looking at to take over from Bellamy in the future. So obviously there's some good stocks there. But as well, you got Des Hasler, who's a proven coach. Whilst he hasn't necessarily left the Manly and the Bulldogs in the best light in the last couple coaching jobs he's had, at least they've been competitive and made the finals. And I know us Dragons fans would kill to watch our team in the finals at the moment. But the other guy, and I think he'd be more of an interim option, would be Jamie Soward. I think he's coaching the girls at the moment. He's quite good there. He was the premiership winning half. Is quite he's a good footy mind, knows the boys as well there because he's already an assistant coach. So I think that's a good option too. But I think for the sake of this rebuild, we're bringing in Jason Riles as the coach for the Dragons. So that's our first big change there. Anthony Griffin out, Jason Riles in. Now, we've got to bring in some assistant coaches as well because, look, the guys there at the Dragons, I'm not really excited by them. So I think Jamie Soward, because he's a kicking coach, I believe, now we're going to promote him a little bit there. We're also going to try and bring in Trent Barrett from the Eels and maybe even get Paul McGregor in there. I know he didn't work out as a head coach, but I think an assistant he wouldn't be too bad. But even Sean Timmins and stuff, giving those guys a bit more of a role within the club. So yeah, look, our coaching staff is now Jason Riles with the assistants, Jamie Soward, Trent Barrett, and Sean Timmins with the potential to bring in Paul McGregor. Let me know if you guys think that would be a good deal in the comments. Now, if you have a look at our roster, it's appalling. It actually sucks. But our off-contract players for 2023 are Moses Mbai, who's on $900,000, Aaron Woods, Josh Kerr, Tyrell Fuimaono, Billy Burns, Jacob Little, Nick Tuiloso, and Tautau Moga. Now, out of those guys, maybe would re-sign Jacob Little, Nick Tuiloso, and Fuimaono, I suppose, but the rest can go. So I think with Mbai, Woods, Kerr, Billy Burns, and Tautau Moga gone, that's at least $1.5 to $2 million in the cap there, which is really, really good. So we also want to re-sign and lock down some players, some good players from our squad for the future. So from 2024 off-contract players, we've got Jack DeBellin, Jaden Sewer, Moses Sully, Tyrell Sloan, Max and Matt Feeney, Junior Ramon, and Ramsey, pending on their decisions, or in their situations rather, and Ravalawa. I want to re-sign all those players before the end of the 2023 season. But let's go around the league and have a look at the best off-contract players, especially in the forwards, because that's where Dragons are lacking a lot. So the best players around: Connor Watson, Spencer Linu, Nelson Asafa-Solomona, Jordan McLean, David Fafita, Egan Butcher, Bryce Cartwright are probably the biggest names I looked at there, identified as guys that you'd want to bring in. I think the priority would be Spencer Linu for sure, because we just need another front rower to bulk up. We got Jack DeBellin and Blake Laurie there, which is okay, but one of those guys can come off the bench and have Spencer Linu starting. He's been the premiership winner 2 times in a row now. He's a freak. Jordan McLean, he's a bit old. He's 31 now, but I think he's still a really good player and has that experience. Being in the Storm system will definitely help set some standard. A big one, though, would be bringing in Nelson Asafa-Solomona. Obviously, a lot of clubs going to be going after him. I think he'll either stay at the Storm or honestly go to Union, but look, I wouldn't be complaining if he came to the Dragons. But we also need another edge back rower because, look, we got some young guns coming through, but I don't think they're ready for first grade just yet. So, an Egan Butcher or David Fafita would be the best way to go there. But even Bryce Cartwright, I think, would be a good pickup. But I think I would love Connor Watson, especially because he can play hooker or 13. He's a quite versatile player. I think he'd be really, really good for the Dragons. So the signings that I want to make for this rebuild would be Connor Watson, Spencer Leniu, either Fafita or Egan, and Bryce Cartwright, I think, are the ones that we probably could get over the line. But the other thing I want to just mention quickly is we just need to trust in the juniors. We need to pick and stick with Sloan and Sullivan and Amon if he gets off these charges and comes back. And also upgrade both Toby and Ryan Couchman top 30, Dylan Egan and Tamale, I'm pretty sure his name is, the guy that played centre in the first trial, scored a try, and Josh Corrick as well. Just need to really instill in those juniors. It gives us a side of Tyrell Sloan / Cody Ramsey as the fullback, with Matt Feeney and either Ravaloa, Max Feeney, Sloan or Ramsey on the other wing. And then the centres, Moses Sully, Zach Lomax. I'm happy with those. 5'8", either Sullivan or Amon, depending how his situation goes. Halfback of Hunt or Sullivan. The 4-pack is going to be Blake Laurie, Spencer Leniu in the front row, Connor Watson at 9, Jaden Sewer and either Fafita or Egan in the back row, Jack Bird at 13, Bryce Cartwright, Jack DeBellin, Josh Corrick and Toby Couchman as our bench, with Jason Riles as the coach. Now, it's still not probably a competition-winning side, but it's definitely a lot more competitive and gonna win a lot more games. And it has punch in the 4-pack there. By bringing in Spencer Leniu, Connor Watson coming out of 9, and another strike edge back rower, is a lot more attacking threats and potential to actually win the ruck in some games, which definitely doesn't happen for the Dragons side. So that's the team I've got sitting there. Let me know what you think the Dragons should do in the comments, as well as make sure you like this video and subscribe if you enjoyed, because there'll be a lot more footy content coming. So thanks for watching.